So the moment everybody's been waiting for. So I'm privileged and excited to present the Allegheny Conference on Community Development's 2013 ATHENA Award to Laura Ellsworth.
Thank you all so much. I'm genuinely moved by this. I want first and foremost to congratulate every single one of the women sitting up here. I was just blown away by what I saw up there. So congratulations to all of you, and thank you so much for all that you bring to our community. As I look out here, I see so many other people who have done things with me that you saw reflected on that video. I have my Imani family, my girls from Imani. Where are you? Can you stand up for a second? Where are you? I was asked to share a couple of words with you all about how I got to be here and how I want all of you, including you guys, to expect to be right here. And so there's three things I wanted to share with you real quick. One of them is how to networking through service. And what you saw from all of these incredible women is that there are so many opportunities in this city to come together and serve our community and serve people around us. And Pittsburgh is the perfect blend of two things: an unbelievably welcoming, supportive, committed, caring community who welcomes you no matter how old or young you are to be a part of serving the others around you. And the best way that you as professionals can network is to participate in that activity. And why do I say that? You can come to a beautiful event like this, and thank you very much, everyone, for giving us such a lovely event. And you can share your business card and you can go your own way. Or you can come together, you can meet women here, and there are hundreds of women sitting in this room who do hundreds of amazing different things that they're passionate about. Find out who they are. Find what your passion is. Join them, get to know them, be a part of them. And you will network that way. They'll learn how smart you are, how talented, how committed, how passionate, creative. That's how you network. That's how you develop business. That's how you develop friendships. And in the meantime, what happens is that you feel this unbelievable joy. The joy that I get from working with those people that you saw on the screen is unbelievable. That is a gift to me. And so you do business, you network, you do good in the community, you find joy in your soul. What could be better than that? So my first suggestion is that you think about networking by service. The second thing I wanted to share with you really quickly is this idea of balance in our lives. You know that fiction about balance in our lives? So I don't know what you see. When you see in your mind's eye, when you heard the word balance, right? Do you see like a little teeter-totter, something like that, right? Forget that. It's a complete fiction. And the idea that you can have it all, fiction. You know why? You know why? Because there aren't enough hours in the day. It's that simple. It doesn't matter how smart or talented or connected or anything you are. There are not enough hours in the day to go to the gym, run a company, do good community work. Be cupcake mom, forget it, right? Not gonna happen. So quit beating yourself up about it, okay? Not gonna happen. You know what's a better image and a better idea? Think of this, a tent. Not the scrubby little tent that your kids sleep out in the backyard, right? But a beautiful Arabian tent with all those gorgeous colors and the reds and the plush cushions. Think of that tent. And you build that tent. And into that tent, you invite all of the amazing, talented, wonderful people that you know, like the women up here. And then your tent, the people within it, are supporting each other and learning from each other. You're learning from all of them. Maybe if you're lucky, you get to mentor them in the context of that. And then you're not doing it all, but you're making it all happen. And in the long run, making it all happen is more important, and it's better. And it gives you the opportunity to mentor and grow and develop, because it isn't all about you. It's all about us. And so forget that balance and build your tent. The other image I'll share with you is one a great friend of mine shared, which is plate spinning. You know that plate spinning thing that the Chinese do where they get all these plates going and then, right? Be a plate spinner. Be a plate spinner. Get all those plates going and then let them keep going and just keep an eye on them. Every once in a while you have to go over and give them a little spin, but you'll have all those plates spinning. And you don't have to do them all. They're all going to be spinning out there. So be a plate spinner. And then the last story I want to share with you real quick is a story about my mom. So this is a day for women, so let me talk about her. She was my best friend in the world, and she died when I was 24. And she died of cancer, and she was an oncology nurse. So the minute she heard that diagnosis, she knew pretty much how that was going to go. And about a couple months after she'd been diagnosed, we were at a wedding together. And it was one of those days, it was a fall day like this, and it had been pouring rain in the morning. And right before the wedding, the clouds parted in that beautiful long light of fall. You know what I mean? When the colors are just amazing. Beautiful sunny day. And we were looking fine. This was back in the day where you had your shoes dyed to match, and I had these blue shoes, and she had these green shoes, and we were looking great. Well, we get to this wedding, and we get the giggles, right? I don't know if it was an unfortunate bridesmaid. I can't remember what it was, but we were laughing so hard, and the tears are coming down our faces, and we're just silly and giggling. And we're in the car driving from the wedding to the reception. We're still laughing. And my mom says, "Hey, I want to take you somewhere." So she turns right into the cemetery. And so I got really quiet, and she's still talking, and she's still giggling and laughing. And she said, "Come on, I want to show you something." So she took me by the hand, and we start walking through the wet leaves, and we get to this place, and she said, "Hey, this is where I'm going to be buried. And I wanted to bring you here today because I want you to promise me that every time you come to visit me, and I hope you do, every time you come to visit me, I want you to remember this day when we were laughing." So I said, "Okay, got it." And she said, "Look," and this is why I tell you the story today. She said, "We both know that I'm going to die, and I can either do that well or I can do that badly. But either way, I'm going to have to do it. And so I've decided to do it well, and I want you to help me. And today is the first day of us doing that together." And I was struck by that, and I tell you that story because I stepped back when she said it, and I looked down to gather my thoughts, and I saw that we were standing in a puddle of water, and the dye from our shoes was coming like this, and they were all swirling together. And when I saw those colors swirling together in the water, I knew the answer to her question. And I knew I would say, "Yes, I will do that with you." And in the year that we had, I learned some of the most profound lessons of my life, which, I'm embarrassed to say, I probably would not have attended to the way I did had I not known that our time was short. And the lesson my mother taught me that day was the power of choice. And that no matter what you're facing, even something so profound as our own death, you make the power of choice, and you choose for yourself what you are going to make of that moment. And don't ever let anybody tell you, we heard some beautiful words about never being a victim. Never let anyone tell you that you don't have the power of choice. And don't ever lead yourself to believe that you don't have the power of choice, because you do. You always do. And you always have the power to choose what you will take from something and what you will learn from something. And so I share that story of my mom with you because I have chosen for her death and for her loss to matter to me for all my life. And to share that story with you today means something precious to me and my mom. So thank you for letting me share that story. And then I want to close with a funnier story, which is my 15-year-old son, who's really quite divine. And we're going for a walk at midnight as we do, and I said, honey, how would you feel? My wonderful, fabulous husband just retired not too long ago, and they've had a wonderful time, my son and my husband together. And so I said, how would you feel if mommy retired and I could be home like daddy? He said, oh, Mom, that would suck. Suck, that's really charming, honey, and why do you say that? And he said, well, Mommy, it's not like that. It's like, I really love you. You know that, right? I said, oh, I know that. And he said, but I really love Daddy, too. And I really love Jenny, who's our nanny. And I really love Trevor, who's her husband. And I really love my friends. And if you were around all the time, you'd get in the way of that. So I didn't know what to say for a second. He goes, well, no, it's like this, Mommy. It's like, you really love me, right? I said, I do. And he said, but if I came to work with you every day, I'd be in the way, wouldn't I? I said, yeah, you know, you would. And he said, well, Mom, it's the same in my life. And I'd been to a lot of seminars, and I'd read a lot of books, but I'd never had it put quite like that. And the reason I share that with you is this. It comes back to the power of choice. I chose to teach him certain lessons about life, even though I wasn't there all the time. I wasn't there. And I chose not to apologize for that or to feel bad about that or to feel like I was putting somebody sort of in place of me. It was I chose to bring people into his life who I loved and who I celebrated and who were better than me in a lot of ways. And I gave those to him, and he then was telling me that he felt sufficiently secure in that it worked, because I chose to make a decision about how I led my life. And can I do a mother's brag for a second? When he graduated from 8th grade, I'm sitting in graduation, I'm like, this is really great, but I have to be back to work. And so they're going to announce this award for this kid. And I'm like, oh, great, 10 more minutes, I'm not going to get back to work. And they announce his name as the winner of this award for somebody who saw bullying in the school and the kids weren't getting along, and he invented all of these programs for them. And I, of course, because I don't go to school very much, had no idea any of this was going on. And he comes up afterwards, I'm crying, and I said, honey, how did you know how to do that? And he looked at me and he went, that's what you do. Right? That teenage duh moment. But it made me think this, that we teach our children in all different sorts of ways. And my dad taught me, my dad was like Doctors Without Borders before there were Doctors Without Borders. And for 4 months of the year, I didn't see him. And I don't love him less because I didn't see him. I suspect I am the person I am because I knew what he was doing. And I internalized that. And that meant more to me. My mother was the one who was at home reading me books every night. And I'm sure that I'm who I am because of that too. But I honestly can't remember a word she said during those months. But I remember him. And I remember what his absence meant to me. And so what I've tried to do with my own son, and I share this with you because it appears to have worked so far, is teach with your presence and teach with your absence, but teach the lessons you choose to teach. And always remember that the greatest gifts you will ever get are from service to other people. So I thank you, I treasure this, I treasure all of you, and really all of you, congratulations. Thank you.